Hello, I'm Janelle, and I live in a van with my pet snake, Alfredo. What the is going on, my dudes? In my last video, I was so stoked to have 20,000 subscribers. Fast forward, 2 weeks later, I'm sitting at 1.4 million. I have no words to express the gratitude that I feel at this moment, but to be honest, watching the rapid growth of my channel was a little overwhelming. I needed to take a step back from social media for my mental and physical health because I was not prepared for this. I was actually sick last week and I wanted to film this video earlier, but I literally could not talk. Hello, I'm Janelle and I live in a van with my pet snake, Alfredo. And we're just gonna stop recording right now because I'm not gonna do this video with my voice like this. Doodles. I'm better now, and I'm here to answer some questions. My name is Janelle Eliana Long. I am Ethiopian and Filipino, some people were wondering. I'm 20 years old. I turn 21 next month on August 23rd. And this is Alfredo. He is a black-eyed leucistic ball python. And he will be 1 in August as well. I just say that his birthday is August 23rd too, so twinsies. I know I said I was going to answer 10 questions, but I'm just going to answer as many as I can without making this video too long. And I think the most common question is, why in the heck do you live in a van, Janelle? And like, long story short, basically just because I don't want to pay rent. I'm gonna put Alfredo away because he's distracting me. Bye. Okay. It's like midnight. I don't know why I'm awake right now. To be honest, I was paying an absurd amount of rent in the city that I moved to after I graduated high school. And I was working full-time and going to school part-time, and I felt like I was never home. I was like at work, and then I was at school, and then I go to the library to study, and then I would just go home to shower and sleep, rinse and repeat. And I was like, this sucks. There has been a lot of assumption that I am like financially funded by like my parents or something. That is false. I actually moved out when I was 18 in like the midst of the night, and I have like a very dysfunctional household, and I was very determined to get my college degree. I'd be the first person in my family to do so. So come graduation day of high school, I found out that my college fund never existed. So I panicked and I left and moved in with a friend who lived a couple cities away. I got a job and then got my own place, and the rest is history. I didn't talk to my family for like 2 years because I was so determined to get my degree and just like come back in 4 years and rub it in everyone's face because I was just an angsty teenager. I noticed that in my city there were a lot of other van life and RV people, so I was just like, oh yeah, I could totally do this. I knew about van life in high school. I was really like into tiny living and Pinteresty stuff like that, so I like revisited that idea and then became obsessed. And I would check Craigslist every day for 7 months until I found this van. I almost took out a loan for a Sprinter van, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I don't like the idea of being in debt. And I got this van for such a sweet deal. I got it for $2,500. That's like not including everything that I put into it. I want to do another video where I like talk in detail about the money that I put into this van, because I probably put more than I should have, to be honest. But yeah, I got this van for $2,500 on Craigslist from this cute older couple who only used it to take their kids to Disneyland. Yeah, that's the reason I moved in. I own this van. I paid it in cash. Everything in here paid in cash. Whereas like if you pay rent, you're like paying someone else's mortgage. Like you're not investing in anything. And that's just like where I stand from like a financial standpoint. I just kind of like pulled up in my van. I was just like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a year and a half, but this is my life now. And it took my dad a while to come around, but he's like on board now and totally gets it. I know like deep down he wishes that I was still in school. I didn't drop out. I don't want to say that I dropped out of school, but I'm taking a break to soul search. much. My older sister, per usual, is like always stoked for everything that I do. She's like my #1 fan. Another question that I get a lot is, what do you do for work? So like the first year that I lived in the van, I wasn't traveling. I really was just living in the van, and I was working full-time at this company that I still work for. Right now I just do like data entry, and then I was going to school, so I wasn't traveling. I really just stayed pretty stagnant and was focusing on school. And then after I stopped going to school, I decided to put in more hours at work and save up so that I could travel. So basically, majority of last year and a majority of this year I spent traveling. I work for a really awesome company, and they have been so supportive of my van life journey. I actually built my van in the parking lot of the place that I work. They have like an arsenal of tools that they let me check out and use. So I would go to work on my lunch breaks. I just try to build things, and I would stay until close and just be at the parking lot late at night building stuff, and everyone was so supportive and so sweet. And on top of that, they really allowed me to travel, and they're really flexible with my schedule, especially when I was going to school. But also now that I like want to travel more, I just kind of tell them like what my plans are, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I make my schedule this and this so I can go do this and this? A majority of my work schedule was I'd work like half the week and then vacation half the week, or I'd work for a chunk of time and then leave for a chunk of time. I just got really lucky. Not a lot of companies will do that. And if my managers are watching this right now, I freaking love you. You're the best. I actually just took a month off right now to focus on this YouTube thing, and it wasn't a problem. So no, I am not a digital nomad. I am not working and traveling simultaneously. And I've been pretty content with that, honestly. I live in California, and my work is like in the center of California. So if I drive in any which direction, I'm on vacation, which is great. I lived a pretty sheltered life, like growing up. Me just like venturing out into these like little cities in California is just great. I love it. A question that came up a lot is, where do you get your mail? And I ship most of my packages to work, and that was really convenient, especially when I was building my van, because I have Amazon Prime, and if I needed a part immediately, I would just ship it to work, and I worked on my van at work, so that was pretty awesome. For all my other mail, like my bills and registration and that stuff, I put my friend's address on there and some of my family members. It's like really unorganized, and I'm working on narrowing it down to like one person's address. It's probably gonna be like one of my family members. I am also going to be opening a PO box this week. I go to the laundromat like 2 or 3 times a month, and sometimes I go more often if I did a lot of thrifting that month. If I am visiting friends and family, I take advantage of their washer and dryer. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. A lot of people were wondering, like, what are my plans for the future? And I don't freaking know. I've been just taking life day by day. As of right now, my van is in pretty good condition. It has relatively low miles. I'm about to hit 120,000. And I've heard with like proper maintenance, which I've been trying to keep up with, I've seen these vans go to like 300,000 miles. So we're gonna be in here for a little bit of time. I do want to start another build, and I'm in between a schoolie, and if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you know that I've been looking for a Toyota Sunraider, which is a Class C RV, but I'm not in a rush to do it right now. I have this van, so I'm pretty set for a little bit. In terms of like a house or an apartment, probably not anytime soon. We're gonna be van living for a while, and I'm totally content with that. I love this. I love my life. Do I think you should move into a van? The answer is maybe. I feel like this lifestyle was perfect for me. I work in a relatively safe city where van dwelling is very common. Also, I live in a very temperate climate. It is almost perfect all the time. I would not survive somewhere where it was snowy, and I would not survive somewhere where it was extremely hot in this van specifically. So if you are in a similar situation, I definitely think that if you're toying with the idea give it a shot. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to live this lifestyle. If you decide to move into a van, you are going to have to give up a lot of the luxuries that you have living in a house or an apartment. For example, I don't have a bathroom or shower, so my daily schedule revolves around that. And there's a whole bunch of other things, the list goes on and on, but for me, I find making those compromises worth it because I just have so much more freedom. But there's some people who really just can't live without those luxuries, and I really encourage you to evaluate yourself and see if this lifestyle is something you actually want to pursue, because it's not for everyone. Hello? Hey. Yeah, I'm almost done filming. These losers actually think I live in a van. Dweebs. No, but seriously, guys, there has been a lot of accusations and conspiracies against me, and I am over it. Like, you don't understand. I have been through a lot to make this my reality, and I just find it so ridiculous that people are accusing me of not living in my van because I'm too pretty or that my van is too clean. Thank you. Because I work really hard to keep myself and my van clean, and I appreciate that someone noticed. I'm happy and I'm living my best life. So yeah, I'm gonna take this month to focus on YouTube. I'm gonna stop talking now. Toodles! This van is too small for me to get out of the frame. Try that again. I'm gonna stop talking now. Toodles!